Hello, this is Gerald Jovan Waas. Will it be easy to recognize letters as letter forms in what we see in the world and how we see them also as positions in time and space? And can we compare them very directly? And could we do the same for instance, Japanese scripts? Yes, it's actually exactly the same thing. We recognize the same kinds of things in the same spaces, in the same timings, and so on. The emphasis is a bit different, but okay, that's easy to compare. Let's do that. This first video in this series will show you the vowels, and then I will combine all the vowels with other letters, with the kind of letters that are combined for it, that makes up the katakana letters. And I will compare them to the Roman script, of course. And it all makes sense, and you can all understand them in a similar way. And you remember them as well in a way that it will be more easy to remember them, because you understand its positions, you understand its forms, and so on. And I'll start from my kindergarten vision here, and I will project it into there. I will not look at this full picture a lot, but it's just an example of where I am. I'm there, and that's a person, that's me or you or anybody. And there's also, a kind of animal, a tree, and a table. We don't care about the table much, about the tree, but we will care about an object, and we will focus from our vision towards any object and name it. And the basis for the script of the Japanese script, of the katakana script, is basically timing, which is underneath it. So there's a timing. What kind of timing? The timing is that we move forward to something, somewhere, and we take a step back and found it. Our Western foundation is different. We have a foundation that focuses on space to be as objective as possible. In a way, when we move, I will give you a demonstration. There are three regions that we perform in this region. And this region is basically, if we stand somewhere, can I be, it's like I fit into this circle, so that's good. When we stand somewhere, everything which is physical is basically underneath us. Everything which is stable, doesn't move, that's enough. That kind of space under our feet, that's enough to have the first category of letters. Next category is when we move, of course. When we move somewhere, when we move, it is providing a different area. This area is in a way, it's our full body is involved. Our head is going towards something and so on. It's a bit wider. Like my arms are a bit wider. That's all involved. There are other couple of letters, so that's why it is a little bit moved of focus, because we move our focus towards the next spot. The moving to all sides, it's there, and our focus is there. If it's even further, and it's not just about movement, but it's about a bigger context, even outside ourselves. We have to check where we can land to, and it's still a little bit wider. Also, another category of letters are there. The three categories are in the Roman script, or having an order in that Roman script. The Japanese and the Chinese script is always basically in that same region where you have that A written there. It's that region in which the timing is set. The timing is set, and we can have the context in, we can have the physicality in, we can associate it in such a way that we can resume it into this little square. For us, we will have to move our focus a little bit from the basics underneath towards sometimes some of the letters are about timing and some other letters are about context. So I will use these three regions in the same order, in this order, and they will show themselves very well of what they are expressing. So the Eastern Foundation, it's just that part that is about movement, about communication, about changes. It will be at that region always. So there I'll put the Chinese and Japanese script. Underneath I will start with the Roman script. And of course then we have these three regions. So these three regions, the context, the timing and the placement. This one I will use for all the examples. And this is the concept that I will use that will show very well its distances, its differences, and it will show that very well. So that will be my concept. That concept will be very clear if I use it in this way. So when I compare them for the Japanese script that we will use, the katakana, we will have then this movement towards somewhere. We deal with its timings, but also with its needs. So we take one step back to where we have to land to and make an adaptation. So there is always this transformation process, this adaptation process, it's always involved. That's why this A and this X that you see there written, it will be in every letter. This idea will be visible in every letter. Until we have then, of course, a goal in which we say, okay, this is under our control. It's physical available. It's in the timing available, and we also know what to deal with. So that the end total will be in balance. First letter that expresses, the first vowel that expresses this idea of going forward as an idea and take a step back and then make that result where we need it in our space is the letter A, and this expresses somewhat the result after a process of forwardness, taking a step back to what it needs and then see what comes forth from it. That's basically the description of what is in the A. Some letters will be more easy and more clear, but if you see them and read them all together, it will make sense, and you will start to understand the movements also. So in the A's might not be clear yet, except for this is A is a forward move and is taking a step back by facing the reality of the concept behind it, the concept of the script behind it, that you have to have a realization of what you need to make. You need to make something, and then you have to see what comes forth from it. That's the letter A in all languages. It also is there in that letter always. For us, it's that letter A. It's in that first section of our basics. It's in the spatial area. And in a way, if you look at it, where we stand, it is very fitting to an orientation in space, also in our perspective towards space, towards infinity. We try to find the balance into what is controllable and to what is infinitely far away. We try to find as quickly as possible the focus, the space of control. The space of control is expressed by the letter very well. It's our perspective in space. That's what the letter A is about. The next letter, the letter E, is then you have to do something, of course, because the letter A is the stable person. It's the person which is actually passive and a steady place in space. as you can see it here, with the E is something else. It's in the activity of the changes of the world. We have to go towards that place in the activity to change something, but we have to find a new balance. It's like pressing down with a hammer a pole in the ground and find a new foundation. You can recognize that part, so that character in that way as well. It is making foundations. And how do we do that? It's by the activity that we face ourselves towards the world, towards the changes, and we become not a passive form, but an active person, and we will try to find applications that can be applied anywhere, and we will become an applied person. Remember this image to understand well how this expression of activity occurs and is performing. And compared to the theory that I have of the E is following the normal progress in space, but it's finding an application which you can put in anywhere as that vertical, as you can see there, it can be inserted and it will fit, even if it is in between some of the regions. It will fit as an order with a new order, but it's a confirmation of everything what we have, as a strengthening actually, as all the ideas that we have. So we go towards a new goal and it will still fit. This new goal will also have new areas and it will make everything fit together even better. And then we find a new timed application. When we start from space, we start from the passive things, the objects, the physicality, and then in a way we experiment with it. But these points are not fixed, they are in movement, so we have to learn how they behave, what they are. With an E, we deal with its full context, we deal with its changes, and then we can find a new A, a new application. That's what the letter E is about. It finds, here's a new foundation, and it fits, and the A will fit there as well. How do we express the E in Roman script? It's of course in the third category, so we have to put it in the third category there on top. And the third category shows you already, this is about I have an idea, I have this idea, and I will make the application there. And so it starts from within a context. We have first an idea how to change things, and then we, like the katakana, we move towards it, and after the progress and preparation, we will apply it in the end. So I, even as the person who starts something, will make the application somewhere. I have an idea and I will try to find that idea that it is applicable. The next letter is the U or the U, and the letter U in the katakana script is written like that. You see immediately it starts from a limit. The top one is like it is expressing the rooftop, or it expresses actually that you have to start from a general context and a generalization concept, a concept, and so on. So it is dependent via a limitation, a context. And again, it has to see what comes out of its transformation. It is restricted. You can recognize these qualities, which are qualities of the letter U, also there in that way. Just as an example, I don't say it is what you can find in books or so on. No, but you can remember it like that. It's like a halt, and I have a context. I depend on context. I depend on what's coming out. In the Roman script, same thing. The form expresses something of what is There, the U is about restriction, so you only the downside. There's a downside of it, let's say, but it's open on top, so it's open to suggestion, to filling, so that it can complete itself. That's how we can recognize the qualities that are related with the letter U. The letter E, then, in the katakana script is written like this. It's exactly at the place where it should be. And what you can see, what can you recognize in that way? I will get to that in a moment. But I will add the idea of the theory of it. What is the E? The E in my theory of numerological order, it's there from one point to a next point. It is a change from one position to a new position, and it is about change. It's about timing. It's about, you have to go to a timing, and you need some conditions for this timing, but you go there. So it's not about the conditions, it's about going towards the changes. But what do we recognize in the Japanese script? It is interconnected with all the regions. It's connected with the going to the next step, from context to timing to placement. It's connecting all these areas. It's doing that. It is going towards the changes. It's going towards the next level. It's going towards the next area. That's what the E is about, and that's why it is expressed actually pretty well. We express it as the E. We have to have it in the second category. That's what the theory says. There are three categories: the spatial areas, the timing areas, the context areas. This is about timing, and it is about timing in general. From our viewpoint, we can express it there in that point, exactly as the theory describes. And it fits actually quite well, and you can remember it like that. So the letter O is the last vowel. This is the katakana expression. The O is also about timing, but it's about conditions. So you have to move towards conditions. There are things to do. There are conditions to apply. There are conditions to do, to go to. There are not there yet. There is a goal that we have. One step from where we are now to the next step where we are landing into. We will connect to it. It will go to it for. We will achieve it further or later. That's what the O is about, and it's also in the environment, of course. It's one step further. It's that, and we can finalize this scheme with the idea, okay, we have something to connect to so that we can finalize it. I add this here because when we start to combine it with other letters, we need that last area of this step further. That's what it is. And this step further you can recognize a bit in that character, and that's how you can remember it also, that the content of what it is expressing is in there. So the content and the expression in the Roman script is the O, of course, so we connect to its environment, to the same area, and to the conditions elsewhere, to the moments actually elsewhere. So that we can find the rightful moment in time. That's what the O is about. We don't have it now, but we could have it now. We might have it now, but it is timed. At some point it's there, at some other point it will not be there. It's all due to conditions and timing. These conditions are described in the O. That's how you can remember these, and you can remember them via both scripts, that the content is recognizable there. In combining them with other consonants, they will make even more become more clear. But that's for next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.